knocking out Conor on a pay-per-view main event. It's up there for sure. I'm happy, man.
All the discussion kind of coming into this was like about your mental check, you know, and it was going to be a difficult mental battle versus necessarily just, you know, tactics and that sort of things. Was this a tough mental test to get in there that first minute and put all that behind?
I wasn't even thinking about the first fight, honestly. But every fight's a mental test. You know, this stuff is scary, and you have anxiety in the locker room and the week of the fight. More so this one, man. Like training camp, all that stuff, it gets blocked out. That's all noise to me. But this freaking thing, dude, I'm sitting in a hotel for 2 weeks on Fight Island with nothing to do but think about the fight, you know? It's, but like Conor said, I've got a lot of experience in this game, and like I've said, I just don't care anymore what anyone thinks, so it's whatever.
You used the wrestling early, which I thought would probably be a big factor, but ended up getting it done on the feet. So was the game plan to use more wrestling, or did you think you'd be able to just outstrike him?
The game plan was to not be heavy on my feet and throw power shots and box early. The game plan was to kick and wrestle and box, to mix it up and make it a mixed martial arts fight, to kick inside, to kick outside. Mike Brown was real big on me throwing calf kicks this fight, really big on it. Really wanted me to, and it worked, man. You know, we compromised his leg, and he was in a bad position early, just from the repeated leg kicks. Even when he started checking, he wasn't contacting with the shin. He wasn't, you know, like a small rotation more, I would have been paying for those kicks, but I was still getting the muscle of his leg, and that part of your leg and muscle is so small and thin that you can't take many shots there, you know. After the second leg kick, I knew he was hurting.
He says he wants to regroup and come back, and what do you think? Is a trilogy in order somewhere down the line? Do you think it has to happen at some point?
I mean, we're 1-1 for knockouts, right? This is CTE Island. This ain't Fight Island. We'll see. We'll see what I don't know. You know, I can't tell the future. But we're 1-1. We both TKO'd each other. So you probably have to do it again, right?
I like it. Dana was here a little bit earlier. Say spoke to Khabib. It doesn't look like Khabib's going to come back right now. Are you okay with that? And if so, it seems like, you know, Chandler would probably be the fight for the title. You and him. Does that make sense to you?
No, it does not. Respect to Chandler. Great win over a guy. But to come in and beat a guy I just beat and get a title shot, dude, I've been in, what is this, 27, 28 fights in the UFC, trying to, you know, everything, fighting the toughest of the toughest guys to get my hands on gold. You know, he should fight Charles Oliveira or something. Let Chandler and Charles Oliveira go at it. That doesn't really interest me at this point. I'm going to sell hot sauce if that's the case.
Last thing for me, I guess they were saying on the broadcast, did you went over to Cormier and the broadcast, he was like, I don't even like this, I don't like this anymore. What was that about?
I just felt like in the locker room, I just felt flat. I mean, I'm damn good at it, but I just, you know, felt flat, and I just felt like really calm, and I don't know. It's hard to put into to say, but that's it exactly. I don't really like this anymore. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm not, dude. Got so many ass whippings left to hand out. I feel like I'm just hitting my prime, right? And just putting everything together. My body and my mind are finally on the same wavelength, and just turned 32 this week. We'll see what happens, man. I don't know. Only part I liked was the fight this whole last 2 weeks. So I don't know if that answers a question or draws more questions, but I didn't enjoy the process these last 2 weeks. The only part I liked was fighting.
Dustin, right here. There was a moment in the first round when you were trading shoulder strikes, talking to each other. Is that something you had worked on, or did you just throw it back?
I always talk trash to these guys. Ask any of my opponents. I'm always having fun in there and talking and stuff. No, I hit him with a shoulder strike. I forget what I told him. I said, "How about that clavicle?" or something silly, you know. Yeah, that was it. And then he hit me with a good knee, and I told him that was a great. I said, "Great shot. That was a good one."
And then finally, just to clarify, you're willing to just wait, see if they give you a title shot, see what else happens behind you.
Well, I'm not waiting for nothing. I'm going home, be with my family. I'm going back being dad. I'm going to sell hot sauce. I'm going to work with my foundation. I have so many things happening outside of fighting right now. This is just something I do.
Dustin, over here to your right. You said that you were talking to him. Was he talking back, or was he staying quiet?
He wasn't really. I think he said something when he landed a shoulder. He might have said something, but he wasn't talking. Well, yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of chatter going on, just in that mix of shoulder strikes against the fence.
You mentioned you didn't enjoy the process of this. Is that like part of that due to the size of the fight, how much media you had to do and all the attention on you?
I don't know. I think part of it might be from fucking spinning my wheels for 2 weeks sitting in a hotel room. You call this Fight Island, but man, this is Fight Hotel. We couldn't leave the property. I'm sitting for 2 weeks cutting weight. The furthest I can go is to the workout room. You know, this was like I was in a prison in my own mind over here, man.
You got to listen to the race cars though.
It drove me fucking nuts yesterday. Yesterday I was like, dude, I thought yesterday was the worst day, right? And this is the day before the fight. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm about to jump off the balcony.
You mentioned that a fight with Michael Chandler doesn't really interest you at the moment. What does interest you? Would you rather just do a rematch with Conor? Would you like to look elsewhere? What does interest you?
I mean, a rematch with Conor interests me. Always wanted to whip Nate Diaz's ass. That interests me. In fighting, that's about, I mean, I'm sure something will make sense, but just right now, I don't know. You know, me and Conor are 1-1. Nate Diaz got away and likes to talk a lot of shit online. But I just got to go back home and we'll see.
Do you think there is something to Conor's thing about inactivity hurting him?
Possible. Everybody's different. You know, I've seen guys that not affect, and you know, ring rust is real if you allow it to be. I just assumed it wouldn't be for Conor. That's how I approached this fight because I thought he was in the, you know, in Portugal and he has a training camp going built around him. He's putting in the work every day, so I think you would be sharp and your timing would be good. When the like real life timing of a fight, I feel like I get that in training camps. You know, so I don't think ring rust would be a thing for me unless it's mental, you know, like a mental worrying about performing again, maybe. I don't know. To each his own, I guess.
And last thing for me, a lot of it was made of your durability at 155 versus 145. You took the shot from me at 145, it finished you, but tonight you took a few shots. Did any of them hurt you, phase you at all, or did you feel like you could take them quite comfortably?
No, he hurt me. He hurt me with the left hand. My legs, nothing went, but he flashed me good. And if he would have pressured and I would have got hit again, I think I would have been really hurt.
Dustin, it's very obvious that you won the hearts of the fan when you were going out victorious tonight. Talk us through that feeling, and how did it feel to hear all those chants for Conor while fighting? How did you get through that or overcome them while fighting?
It's been, I fought one time last year, and there was no fans. So it's been a while since I got booed. It's been a while since I walked out to boos. I walked back to the locker room with cheers, though. I heard that. So I heard the boos on the entry, and I heard the cheers on the exit. And that's exactly what a lot of these MMA fans are, fair weather. So that's why I don't hold that stuff close to me. You know, it doesn't mean anything.
Dustin, down here, obviously you come out to James Brown all the time, pay the cost to be the boss. I mean, just from your reaction there, like,
The hardest working man.
Could it be any more fitting given the magnitude of this victory?
Yeah, I was thinking about coming out to the big payback, but this isn't payback. This isn't about that. That's not what this was to me. That's not what this training camp was to me. This was about progress. This was about prosperity. This was about putting my family in the position we're in now. It was a lot of things, but it wasn't payback. That's great. Now that the fight's over and stuff like that, I'm glad I got him back. That's cool. It makes for a great storyline, and it feels good. But that wasn't the driving force of this.
And your career has had a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys. But where'd you rank this win in your list of victories?
It's up there, especially the finishing a guy who's never been finished like that. It's up there, man. You know, touching that UFC interim belt was so important to me. And, you know, putting my hands on the Undisputed World title before this is all said and done is what I want to absolutely do, man. But this is a big one.
And I know you're still taking in everything or whatever, but ideally, have you thought about when you'd like to come back? Because obviously you only fought once last year.
I don't know what's next, honestly. I got to get home, speak to Dana, speak to the UFC, just see what's making sense, you know. But I can guarantee I won't be fighting Michael Chandler. They can do whatever they want with the division. I don't really care. But if something happens that makes sense, then we'll do it. But
thank you, man.
Frustrated with the result, not what you're hoping for, but what are the emotions like for you right now?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, John. You know, it's hard to take. the highest highs and the lowest lows in this game. My leg is completely dead, and even though I felt like the muscle at the front of the leg, and it was badly compromised, and it's like an American football in me suit at the minute. So, you know, it is what it is. Dustin fought a hell of a fight, engaged in the takedown attempt. I thought I'd done well. I got up, turned him. I was in my head thinking in that second round, getting just tie up now. I felt all right in the clinch with him. I was better than him in the clinch. But too little, too late. The leg was compromised, and I didn't adjust. And that's it. Fair play to Dustin. Very happy for him. Very happy that I got to compete in these times and come back my 11th UFC main event. And that's it. It's hard, you know. I don't know where I'm at the minute, to be honest.
We think about, you know, your mental toughness and what you're made of. I mean, was that difficult for you to know, like, this leg just isn't working anymore? Like, I'm dead in here.
Look, I was going to tough it out. Do you know what I mean? I toughed it out as much as I could, but it was an unusual one, that's for sure. Where I would feel okay in sparring or something, checking that side. I felt like I lifted the leg up multiple times, but it just sunk into the muscle at the front and it was badly compromised. And then Dustin had good solid defense as well, so when I was pressing forward with the shots, he was defending well. It is what it is. He fought a hell of a fight, and that's it. What can you do? I'm happy for him.
You said the inactivity just caught up to you. I mean, is it physical? Is it a timing? What was the cost of the inactivity?
It's the whole shebang, do you know what I mean? But I have no excuses here. It was a phenomenal performance by Dustin. And that's it, you know. I don't know what to say. I'm going to go back and going to chill out. I'll watch the full fight and get a better grasp on it. But the leg was compromised, and I was rushing the shots a little bit, and, you know, I didn't adjust. And that's that. You know, it's a bitter pill to swallow. And I don't even know whether I'm that upset. I don't know. I don't know what to say, you know.
Last thing for me, Conor, Dana was here earlier, and he said, like, he hadn't talked to you yet, but he's like, this could go one of two ways. Either A, Conor gets hungry, you know what I mean, and it drives him, and he comes back, you know, better than ever, or he walks away. You know, he's got money in the bank. He doesn't need to do this. As you sit there right now, which of those two paths sounds right?
Yeah, you know, I'll certainly regroup. I'll regroup and pick myself up, you know what I mean? Get up off the floor and go again, and that's it. Styles make fights. There's many great stylistic matchups out there. Myself and Dustin are 1-1. Myself and Nate are 1-1. You know, there's many good matchups for me, and I'll adopt a different approach for the trilogy, I feel, with Dustin, because, you know, those leg kicks are not to be messed with, you know what I mean? That calf kick, the low calf kick, I've never experienced that, and it was a good one. So it's not that I haven't got the style in me to switch it up and keep that at bay. And I've a lot more weapons. I didn't get the show. It wasn't my night. It wasn't a great night, but again, no excuses, hats off. And, you know, regroup and pick myself up. I look forward to going back now, seeing the kids, and just taking the licks, man. It's a bastard of a game. It is what it is. There's not a mark on my face. I wasn't rattled with anything. It's just I had no leg. And fair fucking play to him. He fought well, and yeah, I look forward to watching it back.
Conor, was the leg something that you felt growing over time as he landed more shots, or did it suddenly happen because in the final sequence there's a moment where it looks like your leg suddenly goes dead and your balance goes?
Yeah, it was an accumulated for sure. I knew when I seen he had Thiago Alves in the corners like these, you know, I knew what was coming. I knew they were going to try and kick I knew he likes to kick the low kick. He's also experienced that kick before himself, taking it. So that's my first time to experience that. So, but one of them sunk in early, and Thiago said that was a good one. And I was in my head thinking, yeah, bastard, it was a good one. And then it just started accumulating up. But you know, fuck it, it is what it is, man. I'm not that upset over it, which is another weird one for me. You know what I mean? I'm happy. I put in an immense amount of work. I gave it me all. I'll regroup for sure. Southpaws and that back kick wrapping around the front part of the muscle on that low leg is something that I must adjust to. So it's not within me to do that. So that's what I will do.
Dustin looks like he's going to go on and fight for a title Now, you mentioned his name. Do you think now's the time to do the Nate rematch? Would that be a fight that makes sense for you, or you're not even thinking about it?
No, I'm not. I was just kind of like thinking. I have a lot of, you know, like I said, styles make fights. I adopted a similar approach against Nate, but I was above the leg. It was the leg kick above, and that low one is an interesting one for sure. It's a very interesting kick. Same stance, opposite stance. It's nothing. You know what I mean? He threw actually an opposite. He threw a right low kick, and I checked it clean. But the outside one's wrapping around, and even though I felt like I turned the leg out, checked it, and you know you have to almost turn it right out, and it has to hit the bone. It can't hit the muscle, and that's it. You know, me and Dustin now, he's, you know, it is 1-1 for sure. We'll go again. I hurt him in the first round. You know, he got a good takedown. I turned him against the fence, caught him on a nice elbow, caught him on a nice spinning hook kick. I should have more activity. I feel I would have straight away, as soon as I was catching loads of the kicks, and he was like kicking, I was catching it straight away. Then I should have just closed and clinched him. You know what I mean? So I've got all the moves and all the skills in me game. Do you know what I mean? And I felt I was out clinching him, and I felt stronger than him. So I didn't adjust in time, and that's it. You know, it is what it is.
You mentioned the clinch. There was a moment where you were both against the cage, trading shoulder shots with each other, and it looked like you were having a conversation or something. Were you guys talking to each other?
Yeah, just the usual crack. You know what I mean? Back and forth, 1 for 1 it was. But I felt I had the better ones anyway.
And last thing for me, Conor, you know, you say you're sitting there and you're not upset, and that's a bit of a weird one. Is part of that because this is something that you could really love to do, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it anymore? And the fact is, despite the loss, you finally have been able to compete again for the first time in a year. John mentioned about, people worry you might sort of go off and leave the game. Are you still happy right now? Are you happy that you just got to compete?
I am happy. I'm disappointed, and you know, but I'm happy for sure. Like I got to come out here and do this fight here in the Middle East, put on a show for the people. I done my best, and you know, things don't go your way at times, but you know, pick yourself up and carry on. I've got a lot of good things going in my life, do you know what I mean? So I just keep my head high, and you know, that's it. And take the shots, take the licks, and just fucking keep on going.
Thanks very much, Conor.
Right here. A lot was made coming into this fight of the sheer size of Dustin. Like a lot of people said, he was cutting down from 180 to 155. Did you feel the strength or size of him in there?
No. Well, he was way stronger in the clinch and all. You know what I mean? I turned him against the fence. I had him pinned, and he wasn't. It's just we both had to make one. Well, I made 155. They made 160, 156. But no, he just fought he fought a good fight, an experienced fight. He's been in here a lot. You know, almost more than double the amount of time I've been in here in the cage, and that's it. It's a hard. You know, you keep showing up, you'll get there. And like I said, I'm very happy for Dustin and his wife and the things that they've been doing. I'm proud and honoured, like I said before, proud and honoured to share the octagon with him, and we're one apiece.
And I don't want to sour your mood, but Khabib has responded to your loss on Twitter. He says, this is what he wrote. He goes, "This is what happened when you change your team, leaving the sparring partners who made you a champion and sparring with little kids far away from reality." Do you have a response to that at all?
My team has been the team since day one. I've not changed any team. It is what it is, you know. Respect the athletes, and that's the character of the man for sure, behind the mask. And whatever, what's he want to do? Does he want to come back or no? Because he's not throwing no leg kicks. You know what I mean? I got up off Dustin. I got up off the ground against Dustin. I turned Dustin. You know what I mean? Look at little pockets of that sequence where he's fights. Like I said, styles make fights. Every fight is a different fight. That's why all this prestige and all that people try and like hold on to. I don't hold on to that. You know what I mean? Whether someone has multiple wins or multiple losses. You know what I mean? Every fight between every man is different. And that's it. Dustin's style just played into it today, and he got, you know, he has the durability, he has experience, and leg kick now in his arsenal, and I'll adjust and keep going. So, but if he wants to have his disrespectful comments, come back and let's go again, man. You know what I mean? I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So
Dana did say it's not.
that's fighting talk. Yeah. So if he's not, you know what I mean? If you're coming back, come back. You try and do it. You know what I mean? So that's that.
One of the main comments right now on social media from all the fans is, even legends can lose. How do you feel to have such an amazing fan base that supports you till the end?
I'm very, very grateful for the support I receive. You know what I mean? It's got me up off the floor many times throughout my competitive life and my personal life, and that's what I said. I'm proud and honoured to come here before you and put a show on for the people of the world.
So I'm gonna be number one. These guys gonna be number two in fate. But these guys not on my level, you know.
Yeah.